Hey everyone, welcome back to the Suzanne and Sarah Real Estate Investing Podcast.
We are two passive income obsessed ladies building wealth in Bend, Oregon and beyond, and we are bringing you along for the ride.
That's right. We are kicking it off today, as usual, with our quick life update, some personal stuff. Oh man, camping all the time, not complaining. The weather this weekend was the most beautiful weather I have ever experienced in Central Oregon camping. I was laying in our tent and we finally have our perfect tent situation figured out, like great air mattresses, like we are cruising in tent camping these days. It was like AC. And then got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and the stars were just incredible this weekend. Like I was like awake and didn't even want to go back to bed. And then woke up for an early morning sunrise walk. So that was out at Crane Prairie this past weekend. And now we're driving all the way to Southern Oregon and the coast for more camping this weekend, which should be beautiful, but a very long car ride that I don't think anybody's looking forward to. And our house is still a complete disaster from this last camping trip. And it's just going to remain a disaster until, I don't know, a week and a half from now when we're back to put all the pieces back together, because none of that matters right now. What matters is the fun stuff.
Yeah. Keep those bins out. Keep all the camping gear out. You got this. And there is an In-N-Out burger on the way, which is going to be a fun experience for you all.
Heck yeah.
So look forward to that. I think it's in Medford. So it'll be on your way, and it can be a fun, like, halfway point of something for the kids to look forward to.
Yes.
Yeah. My life update. Wow. Yeah. I've been working on finding my mom's next place to live, and she's been living here in La Pine near us for the last 3 or 4 years, and now it's time for her next chapter, just being closer to family, friends, community, and knowing that we're relatively nomadic. We're not ones to count on and move to follow. Yeah, so we've got a good solution, a couple of good solutions. So for where she'll be in the summer months and the fall winter months, and it's been a journey.
I mean, we've all come back to it's what I think is interesting about your mom's journey is it's not unlike buyers that we work with, right? Where they have to get clear on what's most important to them. And when you asked your mom what is most important to her, what did she share with you?
She said community, and that is really what it boiled down to. So living in a house by herself in a neighborhood where she's got to take care of the house and the utilities and the yard and manage to create her own social schedule is just not going to be like the most beneficial place for her to land. So we've found a place where all of that is taken care of. There's literally zero worries. Like someone will be cleaning her place weekly and everything is included. She doesn't have to cook anymore unless she wants to, which, you know, at her 8th decade is a luxury and something that I'm really grateful that, yeah, she gets to experience and just feel spoiled.
It's huge. So, but like for buyers, like it's a transition and a journey, just like you said, like that it's like the coming to Jesus. It's like really boiling down to what is most important and like what actually makes most sense for this phase and this time in any individual's life.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not about the stuff you have or the amount of space you have or anything. Like really what it boils down to, I think generally in life, is the people around us and what we're doing and how we're connecting meaningfully with the people. And that's pretty much what today's topic is.
It made me cry.
I know. We're just some tearful ladies over here. in all the ways. Yeah.
Usually good. It's all right. Okay, moving on to our market and business update. I went through our CRM this morning, and the update for us this week, because I actually know what's going on in our business, is we have 9 pending clients. We have 6 listings, and yeah, like I know that, and I couldn't have told you that 2 weeks ago what was going on in our business, which is crazy.
That's only because we like semi-abandoned the CRM that we had been using for 4 years, and we were trying something else. So we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So
That
now we're back.
Yeah, that I'm not doing our own TC work anymore, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So that
Yeah.
having a TC helps me not know what's going on with how many things we have going on. Anyways, but I guess what I want to say is like what we're hearing from the general population, the general real estate agent community right now is that everybody's struggling. Is people are having a hard time with business. And buyers and sellers just aren't moving as fast as they used to, and things feel soft for a lot of people. And again, because we've got Sphere up and running, we can tell you we're aligned right now. Like while we're doing well, while it feels busy, we are technically behind in sales by 2 to 3 million this time last year over year. But we can also tell you, because we are tuned back in, is calculating where we'll be at the end of July, that we're actually on track to be ahead of sales by the end of July year over year. We're doing well. Like
things are just taking longer this year.
it does.
We
It
had a
feels just like
slower
it's
start, and I think just a lot of people are in like kind of waiting mode, and there's just enough turbulence, I think, out there in the world and politically and geopolitically as well, that I think folks are just taking a beat.
Yeah, which is interesting. Again, like I'm new enough to this industry that I haven't seen a lot of cycle. I'm like it's fun to see it make such a big shift. Like that's another opportunity for everyone to get creative and see the opportunities. So.
Yes, for sure. But the interesting thing is too that we're still seeing the well-priced deals going fast and attracting multiple offers. It's very unpredictable, and I think that's the biggest difference of a few years ago in COVID. Like you put a listing on the market, man, and that thing is sold as soon as you have your photography ready. Like people were pouncing even before stuff was on the market if they saw like action or a sign go up or whatever before it was like actually listed. And that's just not the case. And I know we've been saying this for a couple of weeks, but we're here to tell you what we're observing and what is happening in the market. And we do have some sellers that still are pricing too high, honestly. And we're telling them that and being kind about it, of course, and backing up our position with data. I think a lot of people are just trying to see how much they can get. And of course, nobody wants to leave money on the table. We never want our clients to leave money on the table. Yet we want them to have the satisfaction, like we did with a recent client where we priced her condo really well and it went pending in 3 days and no inspections. And like I'm going to knock on wood here, but yeah, she took the analysis. She did push a little bit for a little higher to meet what she wanted from her take home. But when the offer came in, it was slightly below, then we had that room to negotiate. She was still satisfied with what she's going to net out of the deal. Yeah, just goes to show that listening to your realtor right now is really important, because we are doing the research and we're not looking even back at 6-month comps. They're in there. It's really like within the last 3 months that we have to be micro focused, because things have shifted so significantly in the recent times.
And we're ready for our topic of the week. And this week, it's all about the team. And the team started here. And this is a partnership, but our team is growing
intentionally.
And we know from our own experience and our own time working together that 1 + 1 = 5. And we are just so excited to see what happens when we officially add 1 or 2 or 3 or more as time goes on, team members in the coming months. We're doing it. We're doing a thing. We're rolling it out, and we're going to be so powerful, and we're just going to be the best team. Everyone's going to want to come to us, and for all the right reasons. And I just can't wait to tell you more on how and when and why it develops.
But the other thing that happens in these shifting markets too is things consolidate, right? The players that are big get bigger. The people that were like half in, half out are fully out. And I think that's the opportunity that we're recognizing and taking right now too, is as the pie shrinks, for lack of a better term, like we want a bigger piece of it, and we will have a bigger piece of it, because of how we're growing, how we're structuring our team, how we're training people, and just the overall mindset that we have of abundance. There's always more than enough out there for us and for our team. And because of who we are and how we are, we attract the right clients to us. And I will just say it, like, the advantage of working with investors is that our business continues whether prices go up or down, because investors, who pounces when prices go down? Investors, right? So I'm not going to say it's like fully recession proof or market proof, but it certainly is more insulated than working with primarily residential home buyers.
Yeah, and I was having this vision this morning as I was driving from the gym to the office, just thinking about our team more, about like how, when I say I want to be the best team, but I want it to be recognized as the team that has the best buyers, the best sellers, like the best clients to work with. And like when we bring a buyer or have a seller and we bring an offer, that the agent on the other team A is, oh my God, I love working with Sarah and Suzanne's team and anybody on it, because I know that they vet people and they only work with serious people. And then the people that they attract to work with them, we know that they are selective about their buyers and sellers, and therefore they're bringing quality clients to our clients. And that's the vision and the thought I was having this morning. Again, it's just not for anybody and everybody, really. Again, like, I'm open to the idea that it can be, but you have to work for it a little bit. You've got to fit some criteria.
Yeah.
Anyways,
we had like
random, but
an 11-page deck with criteria that we walked through with 2 candidates for our team, really outlining what we are and what this team is and what it is not, and what we value and how we operate and what we expect. I think that's really important, because we've learned just from interviewing other team leads in our market that a lot of people have built their teams unintentionally. And so we're really focused on doing the opposite and doing it with mindfulness and being clear about what we want out of our team and what we want to put into our team and how we all help each other grow.
That's real fun.
It is. Yes. And last week it was super fun too, because we have a couple of remote team members, and we met with each of them last week on Zoom individually. And it was just so fun. One of them we hadn't even met with over Zoom for like over a year, probably. We've been working with her for now almost 2 years, and we get everything done via WhatsApp and various other communication tools. But it was just so fun to reconnect and see each other face to face and talk about what our new exciting plans are for social media and the podcast, and just continuing to bring more value and showcasing to all of you what it is that we're doing, what sets us apart, why we're different, and why we love what we do.
Yeah. And that reconnect was so great, because one, I think, again, we attract people who care about face-to-face and community. And like, this gal is so sweet and so cute, and it just energizes her to like actually have this connection with us. And she genuinely cares about us. And she gave us like real and live and direct feedback for what we're doing and all the things, because she's deep in it. Like, she's the one doing a lot of our content creation when it comes down to it, the editing and what have you, the behind the scenes stuff. And so she like sees it all and knows it all. And she just had some really great, honest feedback for us that we've taken and are like implementing immediately. And I think it just speaks to, once again, the importance of the team, the not kind of getting stuck in our own ruts, mirroring just each other and feeding off of just each other, and like having the variety in the room, like having the people to tell you what to do more and what to less of is a fun new section that we're adding to our podcast today. And so I guess we'll just jump right into that one, just because why not? When we talk about, this is something that we're adding to our podcast this episode, because we think this is important for our business. This is something we think that everybody should be reflecting on in some cadence. And traditionally we do it like annually, really.
Yeah. And back in my corporate days, we would do the keep, stop, start list. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's our version of that.
Cool. Yeah. And so whatever, like, we might have some little tidbits for you here and there, and we're here to just share hacks on life. And so for us, in our own experiences, something we want to do less of just now is jumping into our shiny new and what are typically pretty expensive systems before we are totally clear on if they'll actually support our goals and how we work best. And we've we've got probably 2 or 3 examples of this that I can think of in our collective time together, where like we've just bought into something because we have bigger goals ahead and we think that's going to support them, and then it ends up like we end up pivoting and it ends up not really aligning with what we're doing. I really think for us, like the lesson is just, it's a fine line between between automating before we really need it and adding support before we need it, or like jumping in too soon. Like they're really I think for us has been the symptom before of the cart before the horse in all these cases.
Yeah.
Where we have to maximize it on our own. It's only us who can do the work, and we have to be realistic about our capacity
for adding,
learning new
learning a
things.
whole new system. And like robust systems are lovely, but sometimes like they're too much.
Yeah, for
I think that's what we learned.
Yeah. So I think we just kind of keep it simple, do what works for us, and then layer it on lightly.
Yes.
That was our do less of.
Yes, and do more of. We've really been enjoying seeing people in person in our office, and everyone who comes into our space is always just amazed at how beautiful it is, both our individual office that we sit in and record this podcast, and then just the broader brokerage office. And we love to share it. We're really excited to be hosting our summer Power Hour series, where we meet every single Tuesday from 4 to 6 p.m. right here in our office, in person only. So there's no hybrid option like we have with our monthly meetups. But the coolest part is that people are coming here from all over the state, which is new from last year. We have people coming and driving here from Eugene, which is like a solid 2.5 hours. We had someone from Clackamas, which is basically Portland, so that's 3-ish hours. And then we've got a lot of people from all over Central Oregon, but even as far as like Prineville, people are making the trek to come here and spend time with us, learn from one another. And that's our goal as with the Central Oregon Investor Network, if you follow us on here. And just excited to be bringing people together, because there's nothing that replaces that the feeling and the networking, the spontaneous conversations, like the unpredictability of what can happen in a good way of being physically together. There's a lot of synergy and energy that comes from that. And we were even talking about that yesterday here in the office. Just we're sitting here at our table, we're each doing our own thing, but we're doing our own thing and getting stuff done because there's another human sitting in here with us.
Yeah, for sure. And for me, it's all about it just feeling, I don't know, it's just more fun and more meaningful if you can share it with other people in the room physically. I don't know. I just would get a lot more distracted, I think.
Oh, for sure.
I guess we distract each other, but
we do.
In a good way. So we can hop right back into our client and industry PSA par for course for those of you who have been listening to our podcast. And our theme remains team. And I want to talk about, for our client PSA, what it means to work with a team. And what I want to talk about is, during our buyer intake meetings, one of the questions that I will often ask our buyers is, if you've bought a home before, can you tell me any part of the experience for you that like wasn't a good experience, something that you would change from last time? And a lot of times feedback that I will get was that buyers feel passed off. They come into a buyer's agent, or they come onto a team. They sign up to be represented by a buyer's agent, but then halfway through the transaction, they're all of a sudden working with someone different, and they never talked to the person that they initiated contact with before. So they feel passed off. I don't know if there's a way to add to that feeling.
No, I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah. And what I want to say about that is, it doesn't have to be that way. What we are building, and what I think is the ultimate level of support, really is working with a team. And for us, what I envision is that we are magnets. People come to us because of what we put out there, what we're selling in terms of lifestyle and mindset and freedom and whatever, good times. That's what I'm here for. And we get to know you in this initial intake process. And whether you're a buyer, seller, whatever, then we have a whole beautiful team of people to pluck and pick from in order to support you in the best way possible. And for us, that what we're analyzing are things like your personality, like your experience in buying or selling real estate, like your available time, our available time. And our goal and what we do is make this team support process like just seamless. You know what you should know by working with us. It's like you pay for one, but you get 10. You have a whole slew of people on your team when you sign up to work with us. And it's not a matter of passing off. It's just a full group of support that works seamlessly together. And even if for some reason you come to us and you end up working primarily with another person on our team, it's because that was a conscious decision. And that doesn't mean that we are no longer available and or part of the communications. We are on top of everything. We know everything that's going on with ourselves and all of our teammates' transactions, and you get the best of all the worlds. Really, the takeaway here is you deserve support and not, you want to feel not passed off. And that's what's intentional about the way we match clients with the right fit agent. And yeah, it's a full experience. And we've got you dialed in. We've got the systems for it. We've got the people for it. And it shouldn't feel like a pass off. It should really just feel like more support.
Yeah,
really.
Exactly. Moving on to our industry PSA, sellers and sellers agents. When you sign up to be the bank and do the seller financing thing, and you commit to a certain way of writing it up, you can't just change your mind midway through or have your attorney draft something completely different. And I'm going to give you this specific example that came up with our client recently. We were representing a buyer. We had made it very explicit in the contract language that the buyer expected to have a promissory note and deed of trust written up by the seller's attorney. The seller's attorney or seller volunteered to have their attorney do it. And it was really clear that it was going to be a note and trust deed. The attorney drafted something, but they drafted something very, very different. And they drafted a land sale contract. And so when we saw this, it was like, wait a minute, this is not what we agreed to. And it may seem minute, but it's actually a really big deal, because the difference between a trust deed and a land sale contract is who the deed's name is in. So, obviously every buyer is going to want the deed to be in their name when they buy something. And every seller, when they sell something on seller finance, is going to want it to stay in their name until the buyer fulfills their financial obligations. But if you've agreed to something in writing, then that is what dictates what has to happen, regardless of whether you are misunderstanding or were misinformed or whatever. Yeah, you got to stick with it. So essentially what happened with our client was the buyer was like, I'm not signing this. This is not what we agreed to. And the seller went back to the attorney, and the attorney finally capitulated, I think, and drew up the note and trust deed for our buyer as stipulated in the contract. Takeaway is that contracts specify details that can really only be changed with all parties' permission. And just because someone might misunderstand or be misinformed or doesn't like what the contract says doesn't mean that they can go rogue and unilaterally just change stuff up.
Sounds like it would
we
be fun,
sometimes
but...
wish we could.
Oh my gosh. All right. Highs and lows of the week. Listen, I'm sure I sound like a broken record, but that's okay. I don't think there's anything more important to talk about, to be honest. And for me, the high of the week really, as much as I begrudgingly want to say this, is community. Because I sometimes loathe things like working till 6 o'clock. And for me, that means what I'm talking about specifically is yeah, we've got this weekly power hour that's an extra thing that we've layered on to everything else we already do. It's every Tuesday all summer from 4 to 6 after we've already had a long day, and it's still just Tuesday. And I'm like, okay, I'll stay at the office till 6:30. It's fine. But it's a choice. And while I might not be excited about it ahead of time, when I see people that I haven't seen in a while walk into the room that are part of our community, or see people interacting, or whatever, I actually really all of you, regardless of what I'm saying here. So that really is the high of my week. It really is just seeing familiar faces and people who are going out of their way to come and participate. And it's really heartwarming stuff.
It is. Yeah. And we have clients coming in, current, past, present, and future. And it's just so fun. It is exciting. And definitely a high, like we were talking, just that physical presence and those spontaneous conversations that happen, and the synergy that can be created between people in a room that just doesn't happen on Zoom, whether you're in a breakout room or whatever. It just doesn't happen in the same way. As much as technology can do a lot for us, but it still can't replace the human connection.
Yeah. The other thought I had also is we had one client here in the room yesterday that used to come to our rooms a lot, but wasn't our client. And that's really the only thing that's changed since the last time he's come to our events is he has finally signed up as our client, and we have him under contract now on a multifamily. And he and his fiance, since they officially signed up to be our clients, have expressed so much gratitude for working with us. And I think why I started saying this is I actually felt different about him when he was in the room yesterday. I was like, oh, I like you now. You're cute. Like we can be friends. Like, thanks for being here. Versus like in the past, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I respect the fact you're here. I love that you're showing up. But like, how many times have I told you that you need us? And you finally, well, it's just something shifted. It felt nice.
Yeah,
for that reason.
it did.
Anyways.
I know. Yeah.
That's a funny
Thanks
one.
for bringing that
Yeah,
one up.
for sure.
For our cry, another
Oh,
literal
man.
cry, we lost our first client yesterday. Like when I say lost, I mean like someone passed away. And that felt big and hard and heavy because I just saw this guy. I was just meeting with him at the property that we sold him a couple of years ago, and we have listed for him. And it happened so fast. And I think that is part of what's especially hard, and just like it's hard to wrap my head around the fact that I just saw him a few weeks ago and now he's like physically left the planet. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure won't be our last. Definitely not something that we want to experience on a frequent basis by any means. But yeah, it definitely hit us hard. And because our clients do become our community. And that's, I think, also why we take it to heart.
Yeah. For me, I have more of a connection with the person who passed away's son. Like for me, I'm like, my heart's more with him. He's an important part of this transaction as well. And it's not like anything's completely fallen apart as a result, but it's just like, we just are like, how can we be here for you? Who's also one of our clients as well. But yeah. Age and cancer happens. And that's what happened in this particular case, unfortunately.
Yeah. But the bright side is he's left behind a really solid legacy for the people who survive him, his sons, his wife. So they'll be well taken care of with the investments that he's made. Yeah, and that they've collectively
That's
made.
actually something else to say. They were aware of this condition, this health condition, and I do think that's what's prompted it has prompted in the past year they owned a lot of real estate and the selling off of what they had in order to leave the family comfortable behind. Good planning.
Yeah.
And real estate can be part of that.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go right from a cry to a laugh because that's what we do.
Literally, that's what we do.
Anyways, what am I laughing about today? Oh, I know. We were talking on the phone to one of our teammates this morning who has been on this like wild expedition of showing a farm property in the Portland area, which is about 3 hours away from where we are. This agent has been on our team and working with us for the past several years. She is like a slower starter, but like the most amazing human in terms of just like her ability to communicate with clients and like support clients and do work. She's just an amazing agent, but a slower starter. And she had called us because she's under contract with clients on a property there, and they were finalizing their inspections. And she got a call last night from her client just bawling, saying that they wanted to terminate. And of course, like we all get really invested in our clients' transactions, and especially if we don't do that many, we have the time and energy to become extra invested in the ones that we do have. And she was calling us just for like general advice on what to do next. We were talking her through it, and it's fine. We got her through it. But at the end, I was like, I just want to point something out. Like, I'm just going to give it to you straight. Like, you might not be your personality type, given that you have such high attention to detail. And we'll give you an example on why we said this here in a second, might not be the best fit for buyers in general. Like, you might be better off only working with sellers. And this is something that I think we've recognized with her already, and we're already grooming her for. She does an excellent job with sellers, but I don't think has the skill set or personality type yet to like just tell buyers how it is and directly what to do. And my feedback for her was like, honestly, in most cases, 95% of buyers like want to be told what to do. It's a small demographic of buyers that like really come in with an action plan and know exactly what they want. And like buyers really lean on us for guidance. And this, like, straight up what happened, like, we're calling it out, like, her buyer got cold feet and like, hey, you just got cold feet, let's assess what happened. And where like my brain was like, ooh, maybe really just took this one too far, was she told us she had a list of 120 properties on a spreadsheet that she had shared with this client, that like that was how they were communicating on it. Like her client would highlight the ones she wanted and whatever.
That's
Overcomplicating
next level.
it.
For sure. For sure. Love that about her.
Yes.
But I think some of that time and attention could be funneled elsewhere and be more beneficial to Mackenzie and her business. Yeah. This client is getting like white glove service.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Again, like as people deserve and should, but sometimes I think buyers need less options.
Yeah.
Less options is better.
For sure. Yeah.
Anyways, we giggled about that and she took that feedback really well. And she's so great because she takes feedback like that. It's part of the delivery too, right? Like I'm delivering it with love, but she took it well. And I think she also sees my point. Our point.
Yeah.
It's all good. Part of it's all identifying our strengths and weaknesses, right?
Yeah. And sometimes we've recognized that we tend to prefer working with one type of client versus another. And so we're building a team to help round that out so that we've got people that prefer working with that other type of client, so that we can place people in the right spot so they don't feel passed off, but they feel extra supported and like they have more than what they need and can proceed with confidence in their pursuit of their goals and their transactions and these big changes in their lives.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to actionable takeaways and our final thoughts. So if you are in growth mode like we are, whether it's just building your
not in growth mode, like let's talk about that.
Personal, professional, all the things.
It'll be fun the day we're like, we're not in growth mode.
I know.
What does that look like?
We're just coasting. You tried that at the
I
beginning.
did.
Of this year.
It didn't work. You didn't let me. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. I don't
Sorry. But whether you're building your portfolio or building your team like we are right now, more isn't always better unless you're actually aligned. And we've learned and are still learning that slow, thoughtful, intentional growth feels better and actually works better for everybody in the long run.
That's right. That's that tried and true quality over quantity thing. So for us, whether you are a client or a teammate, we just want to make sure that you feel like you're talking to real people, that you actually have a real connection with us, and that you feel supported. Like that's the most important thing, like that you actually understand what's going on throughout your transaction, whether you're a buyer or seller. And yeah, so much of what we're building really is just like about nurturing that human element while also scaling, like recognizing that like we can't do it all, that we're not the best at everything, that there are people who are better at things than we are. And honestly, and like in order for this to be like a long-term and sustainable thing, we need all the help. And in order for us to, the longer we stay around, the better we're going to get, the better support you're going to get. So yeah, it's not happening by chance. That is the moral of the story here. Like what we're doing is real specific, and it's for our benefit and for your benefit.
Yeah, diligent, methodical, and systems oriented. Yeah. With some spontaneity sprinkled in.
Yes, because that's what's fun. That's fun.
I know.
That's what I think is fun.
Yeah, you gotta have the balance. For sure. So our advice is to be modest yet ambitious in your approach, whether it's building your portfolio or your team or something else. And don't overthink and be tempted by all the shiny new fancy things that are going to be coming your way that sound like the perfect solution to every problem you ever had, a one-stop shop. Yeah, it's usually not. Stick with the systems that work for you, that you know how to operate, that you understand, that you can lean on, and get in there and just so you know where you stand. I think that's the biggest takeaway for us. Once we went back to our old CRM, it was just like, oh my gosh, we felt like superwomen because we're like, oh, this is so easy. we know exactly how everything works and where we stand, and it's amazing. So anyways, don't get distracted by the new shiny things because there are so many of them in real estate always, and get clear on how you want people to feel when they work with you, whether you're building your real estate team, so you're a contractor or your lender or somebody else, right? Or if you're building your own real estate team, how you want people to feel when they're on your team. And then build everything else around that. We want people to feel supported and engaged and abundant and forward thinking, and what else do we have? Curious and compassionate and open-minded.
Always assuming the best.
Because that's what we do.
And yeah, you guys probably know this, but we're going to remind you, like, people remember how you make them feel. So build your business and your life around that, and the rest should pretty much fall into place, I hope. I think.
Yeah.
That's our advice for today. So to stay engaged with us and keep hanging out, make sure that you follow us on Instagram. I'm at Best Life Ben, and this one right here is at Suzanne Rose Moore. Of course, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel for bonus content. We do the Ben lifestyle stuff. We have investment real estate videos on there as well for education.
All of our meetup replays
that's
too.
real juicy. You can join our investor newsletter, which goes out every month, or we have a top picks email that goes out every week. And we also do monthly meetups and weekly meetups. So we're here, we're doing all the things. Just get in touch with us, and you can too.
Yeah. So thank you all so much for joining the Suzanne and Sarah Real Estate Investing Podcast. We will see you next time with more behind the scenes stories, actionable tips, and just like the real, like raw insight into our lives and our business and our team and what makes us tick. So, because we are helping you to build your best life through real estate and private money lending. So we look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Ta-da.